Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, great. So how many of you, by the way, have invested into startups? Just a show of hand. Okay, I see 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. How many of you have invested in real estate?
Yeah.
Okay, come on, don't be shy. So it's still higher number, but probably not everybody participated. So large number of people still invest their money in real estate, and real estate has also not disappointed. But we all know that there is a fatigue in real estate, there is a periodicity in real estate, and we accept a lot of those. But when we talk about periodicity in capital market, accepted, understood, and that's where a long-term horizon comes. But when we talk about startups, we don't accept that. We always want startups to work, succeed, and not fail. But when we are investing in an early stage, it is a factor that not every startup may be able to execute, may not have an acceptability, and they may pivot on the way or they may close down on the way. Early stage funding purely with this uncertainty is something which fund houses and investors should create a good understanding around. Many of us on this panel at least are catering to the early stage category. So when we started the fund in 2017, this was our first fund. We started that with IIIT Hyderabad. IIIT Hyderabad reached out to us saying we run deep tech incubators. Most of the early stage companies get money from the market after 3 to 4 years. Initially they survive on grants. And in 2017-18, grants were also much lesser. And they said by the time they bring the product, somebody from Valley or Israel would have brought the product up. Chances of failure rate, we said, okay, let's take a risk. So we created a small fund to pilot it. We invested in 10 companies just to test the water. As small as 30 lakh rupees from us, 10 lakh rupees from IIIT. So 40 lakh rupees investment going to them. And we were surprised. We had 10 investments and 6 exits in 2.5 years.
Wow.
Right? That has never happened. And we were also amazed because we had 32x exit, 22x exit, 8x exit, and even industrial families of India were acquiring those companies because the deep tech solution which was built were on build versus buy decision was going in favor of buy. Right? And that's where our model got tested, that early stage company, even if they might appear less cool and sexy, it is still okay to go and support them with limited exposure. And then you can work with them to grow and create an exit as long as your sufficient mentoring framework is created. India definitely is doing very well in last 5 years. We have had many early stage funds, many angel funds supported by SEBI which have come. We were one of the early ones in 2019 and 20 when we applied for the license. But I think there are about 45 such angel funds now, based on what my last reading was. But I think the number might have gone up, and that encourages most of us who are angel investors, who were investing through angel networks or individually, to invest via the fund route. B.V. Naidu Garu talked about the numbers and billions of dollars which are getting invested. And those numbers are actually very encouraging. If you see, India is already number 3 in the world on startup size, capital, growth. And this is the only area where India has the capability to beat China and do better.
Not by value. I mean, not by value, by volumes, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And the growth rate which India is seeing is even higher than in China.
Yeah.
So this is the only area where India at least could easily bypass China and move forward.
Sure.
There is decent number of jobs created in India. If you will see, startups are already second largest job creator currently in India.
Yeah.
That number nobody talks about. But if you look at the direct employment and indirect employment created by a startup, it is phenomenal. If you look at all the unicorns and sunicorns, and you start to see our day-to-day life, all of us, at least on an individual level, might be minimum working with 5 to 7 such companies, which came in only in last 10 years using technology at play. So it is not an opportunity anymore that you can choose or ignore. These are companies which have touched your life in last 5 to 10 years and have started to replace the conventional options which you were used to, and you've got used to of these options now.
Yeah.
Right? So they have become your mainstream solution provider, service provider, or a product provider. And after a point in time, it would be very difficult for you to think of any other alternative. So they have become by default de facto solutions for most of the thing.
Exactly.
And hence we will have to understand they are main contributor to the economy. I'll
to the next stage of innovation. Yeah. I mean, those are the ones who are innovating today, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gaurav, can you please talk about the exuberance about what's happening currently?
Yeah. So, great, all valid points.